I'm Timmy.
I'm Justin.
Yeah, I'm Nathan.
And this is 3 Old Tech Dudes.
Non-toxic and biodegradable.
What's this conflagration of a contraption in front of us? It's in its 60s bluish colors.
It looks...
What do you
It's
think it is?
pretty and dirty, but it's pretty.
It is dirty. It needs a little white.
It looks barn-findy.
It was. Well, this is another object from the famous N9CMM Collection.
Also, it was basement-findy.
It was. I believe it was shoved under the actual workbench.
Oh.
It was this fella's Commercial Trades Institute tube tester, and I decided to see if it works. So I guess we'll find out here in a minute if it does. If you watch this clip now.
All right, coming at you this episode with a Commercial Trades Institute model TC-10, I believe, tube tester. This is another object from the N9CMM Collection. If you'd like to see the story about that collection, watch this video in the upper right corner and learn more about how we came to obtain all these objects. I was pulling this out of storage earlier and I noticed immediately, because the innards fell out of the case, this has no screws in it. So that's a bad sign, number one, isn't it? So I'm not sure why it has no screws. It does have the original power cord probably, which seems to be intact enough to not kill us. It has the instruction cards for various tubes to test, a couple of which actually fell out when I opened it up earlier. So it kind of had a backing here, and a couple of these wadded up underneath it, so I don't know, maybe that's why he had the case off, was to get at his documents. I thought there was more than one of these. I may be wrong. That may be the multimeters that are Commercial Trades Institute, which you'll see eventually that there were multiples of. Yeah, I believe that's true. So my thoughts are to test this tester against my known good Sencore TC-130, which I think is a Mite, one of the many Mite models that they made years ago. Mite 3, yes. So this is what I test my tubes on, and it seems accurate. It could probably stand to be recapped, but I've had this a long time, and you can see different tubes over the years, you know, and they always read the same. So I think it's stable enough, and it has its book as well, so we can test efficiently. We have done one other tube testing video, or tube tester video, shall I say, on a B&K 666, I believe is the model. You can check that video out up in the corner right now. So I think we'll get started by pull the Mite out of the way, and we'll go ahead and pull this up and see what's inside here. Okay. What do we have here? I've never actually looked in a tube tester until now. This collection has provided me a lot of things to dig through here. Not a lot to this, doesn't look like. Got a transformer that's got lots of taps. Sure, for different filament voltages and the like. No wire tiers, got the meter. It's got a really old paper cap. That's unfortunate. That will need replaced probably. But it may be okay enough to go for the purpose. It's a big resistor, it looks like, maybe. Another, not sure what we got there. What are you? Don't know. So yeah, you can see the stuff in the back. No, you can't. You can see the stuff in the back here. The rest of the documents. Tell you what, I think I'm going to put this on the ISO tab just for safety. And I don't really see a reason to variac this. It's either going to work or not. If it pops a cap or something, you know, we'll replace it. So let me get it situated here, and I'm going to flip it back over and find some tubes to test, and we'll see what happens here. Okay, I've come up with a couple tubes here. And a General Electric tube, I believe. Let's see what it is here. It's a 6BQ5/EL84. Oh wow, it's actually matches what's in the box. That's good. This has marked on it 6GK6. Let me in. What are you now? Where's your mark? 6GK6. Alright. Sylvania. Well, let's start with the 6GK6. Pretty sure on my old Sencore that'll be socket 3. Let me consult the book here. 6GK6. Alright. 6-volt filament, that's obvious from the 6. B shall be C for load. Setup should be 3. And socket is 3, guess that right. What's D? D, 6GK6 should be B. Okay, this tester here has pretty simple instructions. You set the controls, set function switch to calibrate. So we gotta do that and warm it up here. Meter should start swinging up once it warms up the tube, and it is. You guys see that a little closer here. So make sure that's close to line. Let it warm up for a minute. Let those filaments get good and warm. Okay. Set the function to emission. Emission is the top graph on this one. It's good. It's in the green. Right in the middle of it there. So if emission reads good, set function switch to grid leakage. And read lower scale to check grid leakage. Well, there's almost none, so that's good. Let's try the short test. Let me look, make sure. Some tubes have known shorts in their documents, so I need to look in the book here. 6GK6. Nope, it's not one of them. So to check shorts, we got to rotate D, the setup control, while we're in short test, and there should be a light that comes on if it works. Who knows? I should check that someday, shouldn't I? Rotate through all positions. Zoop, 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 zoop. No lights. So that tube is good. I'm going to take photos of this to compare. We'll start with emission. Now we've got to get educated on this fella. So I'm going to read about it a little bit and get right back with you. Okay, so I was looking at this 6. You know, we did the 6GK6 a moment ago on the Sencore, and I cannot find that in the docs for the CTI tester, so I can find the 6BQ5 that I found. So we're gonna do the same bit to it real fast, and I'm sure it's socket 3 as well. They're very similar tubes. They're actually basically the same tube with a different pinout, but you really need to know the pinout property and how to set this up otherwise. So let me look up the specs for this in the Mighty Mite's book, so not to bore you again, since you've already seen how that setup works. So one moment. Okay, its setup is similar. It's 6 volts, load C, C setup is 1, and D setup is B on the Sencore. So let's get it calibrated. Get him all warmed up. Some of these tubes are newer than the tester, I think. This tester's probably newer than that one. The needle cowled, alright. So let's check emission. That one's even better than the last one. Grid leakage, pretty much the same. Shorts, move setup D. Nope, looks good. So I'm gonna use, I can use basically the same photos, but I'm gonna go ahead and photograph these as well, and then we'll move over to the CTI tester finally. Alright, we'll go ahead and turn this back on to say 120 volts. I should probably check, let me check something here on my ISO tap. Got it set to 120, I need to see what the medium output is. 115 unisolated, okay. No matter what the setting is, that's good. It smelled like it was getting hot earlier. It may have been in my head because it makes me nervous, you know. So let's look our 6BQ5 up here. There it is. What are our headings? We have tube, type, filament, load, up and down. Oh, okay. So we probably need, let's get this thing in kind of a default setup here. I didn't see any instructions here on how to use it. Now, filament 6.3, power's off. Get all these put right in the middle. Short test switch, type control. Looks like this really just has a bad and a good, so this must only check emission would be my guess, and shorts. It has a short control that shows you light. See, because we don't have dual meters, we have 0 to 100, good. So we're going to assume that this is only the emissions check, which is likely. I think a lot of your department store testers back in the day just checked emission as well. Which would make sense, I guess you just flip it on once you're ready. So let's get him put over. It's cooled off enough. I guess you just match your, yeah, these aren't numbered, so you just find the one that it fits. So that looks like this guy. Correct, alright, goes right in. Filament 6.3, indeed. I wonder how you test the line. Because I bet that, aha, is this it? Yes. Okay, I just flipped it on with everything up and down, see? Like it's not set. I bet you set your line voltage, because I bet you put it right in the middle. Be my guess. So, okay. It's good to show signs of life. It didn't just burst into flame, did it? 6BQ5, so it's type 3. 1, 2, 3. Filament 6.3, load 21. That was kind of cool. It's got like its own control there. I'll put it right. There's 20, 21. That's a neat way to do that. Okay. 6BQ5. I was looking at the wrong line. Gotta be careful. I keep looking up by the headers to see what they are. I need to be down here, so it's type 2. Good lord. Pay attention, Tim. Type 3. I still can't read. It's a wonder I get anything done. It done. 2, 3. 6BQ5, type 3, 6.3, load 26. 21, 2, 3, 4, so right in the middle. Alright. 26. So we have up will be A and B. I wonder what the less bolded letters are. A and B. G and J. C goes down and D goes down. We'll try this, but I may try to find the manual on this because it didn't. All this is the tube guide, and we'll see if we can figure that out. Okay, let's go. Short test control, yeah, doesn't do anything, so that's good. Is it tube filament lighting? It is. Huh. See, that line test just staying right in the middle though. I'm not convinced I'm using this right. Let me see if I can find a manual on it. Okay, so I can't find a manual for this one online, but I saw on the forum it's apparently, see if I can get this to focus in, a clone of a Heathkit TC-2, which was a kit. I believe this was a kit as well. Yeah, it looks very similar. Except it's got a tube readout inside of it. That even looks like the schematic of this one. Alright, well I'm going to read on this, see if we can figure it out. Somebody was selling like a full bound thing they've made on eBay, and I'm like, just post this online. Yeah, chuck wagons, come on. It's a tube tester from the 50s, it's not worth a lot of money. Just, I don't know, if I find a manual, I'm scanning it and putting it up on our 3 Old Tech Dudes website, which isn't quite complete, but will be soon. So, if I find one, I'll let you know. There could be one in the stuff that we found in that house, but I don't know, it's going to take forever to sort it all. Back in a minute. Okay. Alright, I found the instructions in the Heathkit instructions on usage, so we will give this a shot. With power cord connected, move roll chart to listing the tube we test and turn set line control until meter pointer is at the line. It doesn't say anything about the tube being in socket, so correct. Yeah, don't need the tube in the socket. That makes sense actually. Okay. So, with the power connected, minus, we don't have the chart roll obviously that the Heathkit has. Set line control until the meter pointer is at the line test point. Perfect, okay. Set the type switch, the number shown on the chart. Set the filament selector to the voltage shown. Set the plate control according to chart information. Set lever switches, top and bottom, as shown in top position of the cart. Insert tube and reset the line control if necessary. Okay. So let's reinsert this. I think I see what I was doing wrong. I think I was reading this as short test. That's not what it is. It's in short test all the time. And I bet you pull this down to test it. It seems like a no-brainer now, doesn't it? Okay, it says insert tube and reset the set line control if necessary. Look at it bouncing around. What's that all about? Maybe the control's nasty. Huh. Oh, it's that switch. Need to clean up the switch, I bet, because I pulled it down the test real quick and it went toward good. That's a win. So, okay. Check the tube for short by moving levers shown in light. So, that's the, so, in light. So not bolded. 6BQ5. So G and J and C. I'm going to put them here. Check for tube short by moving letters shown in light through the tube positions, returning to position shown on the chart. So, okay. C was down. Okay, interesting. So that is the final setup. Set lever switches, top and bottom positions shown on top and bottom of the chart. Oh, jumped ahead. Check tube for quality test by moving the test light to position after allowing sufficient time for the tube to reach operating temperature. Already there. If the meter pointer falls in the green scale, the quality of the tube is good. Is real good, guys. Funny, we got the short light to glow just for a second there. That was interesting. Yeah, this test switch is goofy. That lights every once in a while. So, okay. I think it's good because has pretty high output, and it was showing over 100 on the Sencore. Sure was. It was showing about 110 or 107. Yeah, so that's right. I think she's good, boys and girls. Pretty cool. I'm going to see what that capacitor is and see if we've got one, and we'll go ahead and recap this guy. Looks like a 1 microfarad, or 0.1, right? 0.1 microfarad, 600 volt. Chances are that's good, but I think I've got one that'll work there. Let me look. Turns out I do have a 104K orange drop capacitor. It's coming at right at 100 nanofarads. That is 0.1 microfarads. That's a 600 volt one there, and this guy is 630 volt. So we've got a winner. I think I'm gonna put this capacitor here and here above these other components. See, they're kind of layered. It's not a bad installation. This was a kit originally, so Mr. N9CMM may well have been the guy that assembled it. So I think I'm going to put that capacitor between those two lugs on this terminal strip, and we'll just trim this out. This cap may be okay, but you know, it's better safe than sorry if somebody's going to use this a lot, just for safety reasons. Some people are fans of shotgun recapping, where you recap a whole piece of equipment. Not that that's a big challenge here with a single capacitor in the entire thing. But, you know, sometimes you leave them, sometimes you don't. Depends on your preference. In this case, I'd like to fix it up, and we're going to clean this guy up a little more, hopefully. Yeah. Oh wow, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You have regulators too?
You've seen a lot of crap like that.
I don't have near as good of a collection as you do. Look at that waxy old beast.
Nice. Pretty old thing.
Yeah. Okay, we got the new capacitor in there, and the leads are clear of all the things around it. These things are kind of tough on their component boards, or without boards. These components flying in the air. It should be good. We'll give it another test run here. Alright, giving this a test run after our repair job here. Looks like the line test is right. So we'll go ahead and power down. Put our tube in the socket maybe. Get it going back up. Yeah, Nathan has appeared here to torment us. So. Looks like the line test is still right. Waiting on the tube filament, getting that it looks like. So I don't even know if this capacitor's in line while this particular tube's being tested, and it doesn't matter, I guess, but we'll just make sure we're still alive. So let's do the check. Wham! Pegged all the way past again, so it's still working. Sweet. No shorts. No smoke. Here we go. So that is the Commercial Trades Institute model TC-10. It's the same as a Heathkit TC-2. This was also a kit that you could get from the Commercial Trades Institute correspondence school, so, and I'm sure that was the origin of this because we've seen some of those books in the collection too out there. So. Alright, we got a 6L6 here I thought I'd test. We've got screws back in here and got it buttoned up, so just about ready to go into real life if someone wants it. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this, but it's probably going to go up for sale.
Sell off something?
Yeah. So we'll set our line test here, get you up close to that this time. Basically, turn on with your tube setup already done, and make sure that, I'm sure this is a voltage check, but you turn this line knob and the meter will swing the opposite direction you're turning. You just want to get it lined up with this line test line, or right in the middle, basically. So then flip it back off. You put it in the proper tube socket. This is a Wachtel, I think they call it, with a little notch. So we'll get that guy warming up, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. See the filament in the top there. Let it get good and warmed up. Actually, let's just see what it does now. We'll put it into test. And it's showing good. It's still climbing though. It's still warming up, you can see. So, yeah. Good emission on that one. I have a feeling this N9CMM guy didn't save bad tubes, because all the tubes we've tested of his are pretty solid, if not brand new. So let's do the short test. 6L6, basically you move the ones up and down that are not him.
Get you some more light.
That one's showing shorts there though, but that may be normal on a 6L6, so it's good to know that that works. Yep, interesting stuff.
Dude, welcome to the waves.
That part of each Three Old Tech Dudes episode where we welcome a new ham to the hobby of amateur radio. In this episode, we welcome James L. Norris III of Prattville, Alabama, KO4YOE, to the hobby of ham radio. James has tested straight to general. Congratulations on your achievement, James, and we hope you enjoy the hobby. Well, hey, that was fun, wasn't it?
It was
pretty cool. We got it working. So
Yep.
Nobody died.
recapped it, all of its one cap, found screws for it so the front wouldn't fall off anymore. And found instructions on how to use it in a roundabout way.
Yep.
And I've written my own instructions you can find below, since nobody on the internet was willing to share this manual without selling on eBay, which I think is silly. So, but that's just me.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, congrats, you made $10 off somebody who wants to fix a $2 tube tester.
Oh, well,
Anyway,
Not that you're bitter or anything.
I just don't understand it. But I guess, hey, there's some folks would do it. So, well, I tell you what, guys, I think it's time for Echoes from the Asylum. You want to hear a comment from somebody out there in YouTube or possibly Rumble World?
Do I?
I don't know, do you? Let's find out. Oh, well, here's another channel regular. How about that right in front of us? Mr. Dan Evans.
Well, as I live and breathe.
We know
Sorry.
I don't know why it made me laugh at that. Anyway, Dan writes on our stereo and audio roundtable discussion. That was a fun video because it was impromptu and unplanned.
We actually didn't even plan on releasing that until toward the end. We were like, hey, you know.
It didn't fit with the video that it went with originally.
Nobody stopped recording, so I guess we'll use this.
No. Dan writes, I used to love my vinyl back in the day. Back in the mid-'80s, while I was up at Purdue, I used to hit the thrift stores for albums. Back then, you could get them for 50 cents or $1, so I ended up with probably 200 albums.
Wow.
Most of them were like surplus from radio stations that were changing from albums to CDs, so many had only been played once or twice.
That's cool.
Yeah. I actually have one like that. It's a Ronnie Millsap album. It has a list from a radio station up in Kokomo or someplace that writes what cut the tracks were and when to play them.
Oh, neat.
So when the songs were new or the singles were new off of it. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Cool.
He continues, I kept them for years until my wife decided it was a good idea to store them in an outbuilding in the middle of summer. Frowny emoji.
Definitely.
They all wilted, LOL. Up at Purdue in the dorm, we would frequently have stereo wars. That's cool. Most of the guys had better setups than me, so I couldn't compete. I remember one of the frequent winners was a fella who would plug his Walkman into his guitar amp. All dogs to the right.
It goes to 11. That's the reason it goes to 11.
By the way, I love VGG. Derek is hilarious. 73K9ZF. Thanks, Dan. We're glad you're still watching. We
Indeed.
we don't have a lot of regulars. So invite your friends who they'll watch us every week. We know the subject matter changes a lot, and that is kind of working against us a little bit, but we actually enjoy doing it that way, so we're still doing it that way.
Try.
Because we'd go crazy if we only did ham radio videos, or if we only did stereo videos, or if we only did synthesizer videos. We don't want to do one thing all the time on this channel anyway. So
I mean, there are three of us.
There are three of us, so there's varied interests here. So I think that makes us a little unique, even though it doesn't seem to gather a community following. We're fun guys.
Yeah, come on, community.
We're not fungi. We're not, mushrooms. Yeah, anyways. Anyway. Thanks for watching, guys. You can find us on social media, facebook.com/3oldtechdudes, Twitter @3oldtechdudes1. Here on YouTube, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video, like all of it. Go watch, like them all. Just click them and like them.
Even if you don't like them, like them.
Yeah, it helps the algorithms. And we like, I've started begging for money a lot lately, but we want to make money.
We want to please
the
algorithm.
10 years, we want to please the algorithm in the next year. So
That would be fun.
it's doing okay. Anyway, till next time, I'm Timmy.
I'm Justin.
I'm Nathan.
And this is 3 Old Tech Dudes. Thanks for hanging out with us here on 3 Old Tech Dudes. Please subscribe to us here on YouTube for more tech old and new, tinkering at the workbench, repairs, ham radio, electronics, computers, and more. Please like this video and share 3OTD with your friends to help us grow the channel. We tweet at 3 Old Tech Dudes 1 on Twitter, and you can keep up with us on Facebook. Just search for 3OTD and look for our logo. Thanks so much for watching.